Saram students, welcome back. Today children, let us continue with the revision of Geography lesson number 5, Major Domains of the Earth. Children, in our previous class we had revised about lithosphere. Today let us revise the next topic, that is about continents. Now children, let us begin with the revision. Let us revise about continents. Children, how many major continents are there? There are 7 major continents. And how are these continents separated? These continents are separated by large water bodies. Children, can you name the 7 continents? These continents are Asia, Europe, Africa, North America, South America, Australia and Antarctica. Now children, let us locate these continents on this world map. Now children, let us locate the 7 major continents on the world map. First, let us locate Asia. Asia is the largest continent. Next, let us locate Europe. Europe, we can see it is much smaller than Asia. Then let us locate Africa. Children, we can see Africa, it is the second largest continent after Asia. Then let us locate North America. North America, it is the third largest continent of the world. Now let us locate South America. South America, it lies mostly in the Southern Hemisphere. Now let us locate Australia. We can see Australia, it is the smallest continent and it is also called as an island continent. And now let us locate Antarctica. We can see that Antarctica, it completely lies in the Southern Hemisphere and it is a huge continent. So children, now you can easily locate the 7 major continents on the world map. And children, do you know that the Northern Hemisphere, it is also called as the land hemisphere. Why? Because the greater part of the landmass, it lies in the Northern Hemisphere. So, the Northern Hemisphere, it is also called as the land hemisphere. Now, let us revise about Asia. Children, which is the largest continent? Asia is the largest continent. And how much of the total land area does it cover? It covers about 1/3 of the total land area of the earth. And where does this continent lie? This continent of Asia, we can see that it lies in the Eastern Hemisphere. And children, if you look at this map, you can see that the Tropic of Cancer, it passes through this continent. And how is Asia separated from Europe? Asia is separated from Europe by the Ural mountains, which are on the west. And what is the combined landmass of Europe and Asia called? The combined landmass of Europe and Asia is called as the Eurasia. That is, Europe plus Asia is Eurasia. Now children, let us revise the next continent, that is about Europe. We can see that Europe, it is much smaller than Asia. And where does this continent lie? The continent of Europe, it lies to the west of Asia. And which circle passes through it? The Arctic Circle, it passes through it. And what is it bound on 3 sides? The continent of Europe, it is bound by water bodies on 3 sides. Now let us revise the next continent, that is about Africa. Children, which is the second largest continent after Asia? Africa is the second largest continent after Asia. And here we can see that the equator or 0° latitude, it runs almost through the middle of the continent. And children, can you tell in which hemisphere does a large part of Africa lie? A large part of Africa, it lies in the Northern Hemisphere. And here we can also see that Africa is the only continent through which the Tropic of Cancer, the Equator and the Tropic of Capricorn pass. And children, which is the world's largest hot desert? The Sahara Desert is the world's largest hot desert. And where is it located? The Sahara Desert is located in Africa. And the continent of Africa, it is bound on all sides by oceans and seas. And children, can you tell which is the world's longest river? The world's longest river is the Nile, which flows through Africa. Now let us revise the next continent, that is about North America. Children, North America is the third largest continent of the world. And how is it linked to South America? North America is linked to South America by a very narrow strip of land called the Isthmus of Panama. Children, what do you mean by isthmus? Isthmus is a narrow strip of land joining two land masses. So we can see that North America is linked to South America by a very narrow strip of land. And what is it called as? It is called as the Isthmus of Panama. And children, where does the continent of North America lie? The continent of North America, it lies completely in the northern and western hemisphere. And how many oceans surround this continent? 3 oceans surround this continent. Can you name these oceans? The Arctic Ocean in the north, the Pacific Ocean in the west, and the Atlantic Ocean in the east surround the continent of North America. Now let us revise the next continent, that is about South America. Children, where does South America lie? South America, it lies mostly in the Southern Hemisphere. And here we can see that 2 oceans surround it on the east and to the west of South America. Children, can you tell which 2 oceans surround it? The 2 oceans that surround South America are Atlantic Ocean on the east and Pacific Ocean on the west. And children, which is the world's longest mountain range? The Andes is the world's longest mountain range and it runs through its length from north to south. And can you tell which is the world's largest river? The world's largest river is the Amazon, which is in South America. Now let us revise about Australia. Children, which is the smallest continent? Australia is the smallest continent. And where does it lie? It lies entirely in the Southern Hemisphere. And what is it surrounded on all sides? The continent of Australia is surrounded on all sides by the oceans and seas. So what is it called as? So it is called as an island continent. Now let us revise the next continent, that is about Antarctica. Children, where does Antarctica lie? Antarctica, it completely lies in the Southern Hemisphere and it is a huge continent. And children, can you tell which pole lies almost at the center of this continent? The South Pole, it lies almost at the center of this continent. And as it is located in the South Polar region, so what is it permanently covered with? It is permanently covered with thick ice sheets. And so children, there are no permanent human settlements in the continent of Antarctica. And children, many countries, they have research stations in Antarctica, and India also has research stations there. These are named as Maitri and Dakshin Gangotri. Now children, let us solve this activity. Can you name the largest continent? Asia is the largest continent. And which is larger, Europe or Australia? Europe is larger than Australia. Now children, let's have a quiz. Multiple choice questions. First one, dash is the only continent through which the Tropic of Cancer, the Equator and the Tropic of Capricorn pass? A. Africa, B. Asia, C. Australia. What's the correct option? Correct. A. Africa. Africa is the only continent through which the Tropic of Cancer, the Equator and the Tropic of Capricorn pass. Second one. Dash is the world's longest mountain range? A. The Himalayas, B. The Ural, C. The Andes. What's the correct option? Correct. C. The Andes. The Andes is the world's longest mountain range. Third one. Europe lies to the dash of Asia? A. West, B. North, C. South. What's the correct option? Correct. A. West. Europe lies to the west of Asia. Fourth one. Dash is called an island continent? A. Asia, B. Australia, C. Antarctica. What's the correct answer? Correct. B. Australia. Australia is called an island continent. Fifth one. The continents of Dash and Asia together are known as Eurasia? A. Europe, B. Africa, C. North America. What's the correct answer? Yes. A. Europe. The continents of Europe and Asia together are known as Eurasia. So children, today we have revised about 7 major continents. We shall revise more about this lesson in our next class. Till then, goodbye children.